Welcome everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, AI-Driven Initiatives, Project Skills to Lead and Scale Across Teams. Presenting today's topic is Ronald, founder of U.S. Computer Support and a dynamic educator specializing in AI, Microsoft 365 Copilot, security, and governance. As a Microsoft certified Azure AI Fundamentals professional, he helps organizations adopt Copilot securely through effective prompting, data readiness, and compliance best practices, backed by experience from the U.S. Army and aerospace industries. Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. And today's presentation is from the Business Process Practice area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. AI is becoming part of how organizations plan, execute, and scale work today. From technology teams to business and operations functions, many professionals are now involved in initiatives where AI plays a role. But managing AI-driven initiatives often brings new challenges, such as aligning different teams, handling evolving requirements, and ensuring projects deliver real outcomes. In today's session, we'll explore how project skills can help professionals better lead and coordinate AI initiatives, and how structured approach can support teams in turning AI ideas into meaningful results. And now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Ronald, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Tracy. And here we have our webinar, AI-Driven Initiatives, Project Skills to Lead and Scale Across Teams. My name is Ronald Clanton. I'm an industry expert. I retain over 60 certifications. I have a degree In cybersecurity engineering, I can program in 9 languages. I've been doing this for quite a while. I own an IT business, a managed service provider, managed security service provider. We provide pen testing, AI creation, and helping small businesses across the world to be able to utilize artificial intelligence and consult for them. Again, my name is Ronald Clanton. I am a United States Army veteran, and I've been spending the last decade training the military in numerous certifications. Without further ado, let's get started. Our agenda: define what constitutes an AI driven initiative, recognize how AI initiatives differ from traditional projects, identify leadership and project management skills for AI work, understand structured approaches for scaling AI responsibly. You've been watching the news, you know, you've seen these things, and I know there's apprehension. Appreciate career opportunities in AI initiative management. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A session to answer those unique questions that will be asked. AI is reshaping how we work. It's it's been inevitable. I'm a child of the years of watching the artificial intelligence movies. Obviously, some of those were anonymous and they would be sensationalized. AI, it was meant to be. I've been, I could just say, waiting on it, and it has helped me tremendously to do everything that I've been able to do and accomplish in so much faster time. AI is no longer a future trend. Businesses that I consult with this day and age, um, well, I'll just say a small portion from the initial standpoint are looking at this as just being something that's integrated in. No, it is here right now. This is what we utilize. This is what is running most of the processes and the tools that we work with today. In cybersecurity, you look at a SIEM or a SOC, a security team. What are what are they utilizing? Artificial intelligence to run all of these processes to make sure that it is watching everything and just having the human oversight. But the actual AI is what's doing the work. It's actively changing how organizations plan, execute, and scale projects, influencing decisions across strategy, operations, and product delivery. This needs to be in every almost every business aspect. I here just trying to think of there's probably a lot of businesses that don't have the automation or the computer processing that's tied into it, but the majority of our world, this is how this works, and this is what needs to be used to make your business competitive with all the other businesses. Project teams are increasingly expected to work alongside AI driven systems and outputs. So you have that. When you onboard a new employee, that employee should be, well, I know a lot of recruiters that I talk with and that I help. One of the questions that is asked during the interview process is how they implement artificial intelligence, how they utilize artificial intelligence, how do they plan to use artificial intelligence during their work process, during that time that they will be working for that company. Because now, instead of having those tedious, say, meetings or the work that you're doing, you should be able to automate a lot of the work and then have those companion, the AI companion right next to you to help you do what you need to do. Leadership roles now require fluency in AI concepts, not just technical skills. The leadership needs to be able to know you can also be able to watch out for those insider threats, to watch out for the vendors, that third party, which has been something been the bane of a lot of businesses. We've heard of the different big companies that have had data loss because of the third party. Now having artificial intelligence, and previous webinars that I've spoken about with Netcom Learning is about having that AI that's there, that's watching, and when it sees that anomaly, it alerts the leadership. It'll stop, take a look at what's going on, and be able to check and see if there's any specific issue with it. And even from a granular level, this artificial intelligence will be able to pinpoint different things that normally a lot of the humans would not know and would have to be reactionary. The incident would have to happen, and then they would know and try to fix it, remediate. Another thing is to be able to see the changes that are happening during the process and have that artificial intelligence to take a look. Hey, this is going beyond the scope. There may be a department that is starting to add more additional features or doing something that may be outside the purview of that company. Leadership can take a look. You can go and be able to see the from um, a higher standpoint and see the whole organization as a whole and see how they're interacting with each other, but also to see if there's any adverse actions that are occurring. This demands new frameworks for managing complexity, risk, and cross-functional coordination. This webinar focuses on the leadership and the management dimensions, not deep technical implementation. Traditional projects, predictable by design, define requirements and fixed outputs. Linear delivery with clear milestones. Success metrics set up front. Stable risk profile, scope, cost, and timeline. Now, those of you that are listening and looking at this and how to look at the value of this webinar and how you can look at how does this pertain to me? Often when I'm giving these webinars, I always look at not just speaking about what's the text on in front of me or in front of you and reading that off, but exactly how does this help you? What are you looking for? This stable risk profile, scope, cost, and timeline specifically speaks to your business. In your mind now, you are thinking about the complexities and all how this would work with your business and how you can make what you're doing much better. Separate teams with clear handoffs. Now we look at the AI initiatives. Experimental by nature. Iterative process with probabilistic outcomes. Continuous feedback loops between the business. Having that intelligence, being able to keep things going and not having to stop to be able to find out what's going on. I often say, having a meeting about the meeting. Continuous feedback loops between the business, data, and engineering. To be able to have all of this working together and to be able to see it right from your computer. Success metrics evolve as the model develops. Expanded risk, data, quality, model drift, and ethics, the ethics. Now, speaking of the ethics, you think about compliance, the ever changing, how this has to be done, how this has to continue, government compliance. You have government contracts, or you're meeting with something specific, let's say healthcare, and you have to meet within there. You have the artificial intelligence that can let you know and keep you within the scope of what you're doing without worrying about that fines, or did you break some protocol or some policy. You have this available at your fingertips. Cross-functional collaboration is non-negotiable. Too many times, and what artificial intelligence has helped um, stop was these siloed teams. This team's doing this team's doing that. What about the shadow IT? Those of you who have to make sure that everything is processing in such a way that you can scale and you know where you are. But having that silo team, you may put something in play. You may start a new service, start giving a new product, or not, well, selling a new product, whatever the case may be, and you have no clue about this department that has this, or their shortages, or the maybe the human capital that is missing for this, and being able to keep everything in a cohesive manner. Let's do the deep dive. An AI initiative uses machine learning, NLP, or computer vision to automate decisions and generate insights, not just execute predefined rules. That fluidity and the ability to make decisions on your behalf is amazing. I can just tell you this. I've been in this business for years. In the 90s, I worked aerospace, and just going through the evolution of how business and how the practices have happened and how things are working now. Even my day and the amount of people that I teach, it's so much easier. So I'm able to provide training, consulting, and I'm still able to be innovative with what I need to do in order to stay competitive, to bring new products to market because of this. So I am not speaking as a person who trains, reads something, and just tell you this. I do this for a living. What it involves training models on data, not writing fixed rules. Measurable business objectives tied to model performance. Ongoing monitoring after the deployment. So this is not this put out there and forget and move away. You have the ability to monitor what is going on in your business, how this is working, how the different departments are working, depending on the size level of your business. Pardon me, but even a small business, as I see daily, they're able to look at different things and also have those projections for how they can build and how they can interact. What makes it different is the scope, timeline, and budget are harder to predict. Real world impact depends on data quality and model drift. Your day to day actions, how you have this, what's going on, the political landscape, the supply chain, whatever that is, you can there and be able to adjust with it and be agile. Not every automation project qualifies. Technique matters. Technique matters. This is where you have to get the proper training. Sometimes what I see in the industry is people will adopt the AI into their business, but no one from the team has received any certifications, any training. And that's just as I put it as a backwards way of thinking. You have to be able to know what you're doing and how to use the tool that you have available. That's why training is so important. Cross team collaboration. No single team has all the expertise needed. AI initiatives succeed when the right people are connected, aligned, and working toward the same definition of done. The same definition. Imagine you have this new client, this Fortune 500, Fortune 100 client. Hey, we have the product, we have the service available, but there's this particular team that doesn't have this. It would be disastrous to present what you are trying to convey to that business and not knowing that this is not the finished product. This is not the service. It's not there. You don't have everything together. This is where you, one of the main, well, one of the most incredible things to me career wise is being able to have that cross team functionality and be able to see what they are doing, what everyone is working with, and making it much more just fluid and faster, and being able to take care of problems as the process is going. Data engineers build and maintain model pipelines. ML engineers design, train, and evaluate models. Now we have our business stakeholders who define success and own the use case. Those of you that are business stakeholders that are listening to this right now, think about this just for a hot second and how that relaxing feeling comes into play of that. Obviously, you still have to be on point with what you're doing, but the ease of knowing that you have something that works together, that's like an intricate chain to keep your business and what you're doing and representing you moving smoothly. IT and security, handle infrastructure, compliance, and deployment. As an ethical hacker, looking at this and when I'm testing the security boundaries of a business and what they have in place, one of the things that I've encountered is they have the service they want to provide, they have the client, but the security structure that they have will be lacking this or that. And making sure that you have that together before you present that, making sure that what you're presenting to your client meets with the compliance that needs to be there. Nothing hurts more than fines or that you've been removed, suspended, or they go to another company. Reputation now has been affected. We got to take a look at that and make sure that we lean into that and have that foundational understanding that this is not about the timeline, but making sure everything is together. You're presenting the complete package. Project leaders align timelines, language, and expectations across all groups. The AI initiative life cycle. Let's look at number one, ideation. Ideation, define the business problem, access feasibility, and align on success criteria before any work begins. I say, and I know plenty of people say it, and whether it's my family or whether it's different businesses. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Having that together, that is one of the things I love about utilizing AI. Something I have to do later on. I'm looking at one of my screens. The AI right now is running the process. It is doing the rendering so that I can be able to present this to this business, make sure that this is set, and have a chance to look through it. Number two, data discovery. Audit available data sources, access quality, and identify gaps that could block model development. Number three, experimentation. Build and test prototype models in a controlled environment to validate core assumptions. You have ideas of how things should work and what things could happen. And, in this part of the phase, what I've seen is there have been businesses that have looked at how they could change something and how they could add something that could add more quality and actually bring in more revenue during the experimentation process, during that timeline, to be able to go and look at what they're trying to accomplish. Once you have that, you have your validation. Number 4, your validation. Evaluate model performance against real world business benchmarks before committing to deployment. Look at how the industry works with this. Look at your competitors. Look at what you want to do. How does this stand out? How does this represent your brand, your mission statement? Number 5, delivery. Deploy into production with monitoring, feedback loops, and rollback plans in place, right there in place. And of course, number 6, the business impact. How does this work? Measure outcomes against predefined KPIs and iterate for continuous improvement. Don't just have this. Sometimes, especially when you're new to artificial intelligence or utilizing it within your business, you put it out there, it was successful, you're clapping your hands, you're going. No, it is about continuous improvement. You do not rest on what you did today or what you just accomplished. You continue to build, and you continue to improve. Plenty of the times where I would teach certifications on that, and um, things like ITIL and making sure it's all about continuous improvement. Your competitor isn't resting on what they just did or that new business that is just coming out. They're hungry. You have to stay ready and you have to stay producing. Why structured project management matters. Project charters prevent scope creep. Define clear goals, ownership, and boundaries to control expanding AI initiatives. Milestones ensure accountability. Break long AI cycles into measurable checkpoints to track the progress. Include AI specific risks. Address risks like data drift, model bias, and regulatory changes. Those regulatory changes are going all over the place. I am dealing with something now. I just had to completely change something over because of a new regulatory rule that came into place with one of my businesses. Apply agile principles. Use short sprints, frequent reviews to adapt as AI insights evolve. The AI, those tools that you get, the companies that produce those, they aren't stopping with different features that they're building to apply with that artificial intelligence. It is advancing. There are new features that are being available. You have to update it to make sure, oh, we can do this now. Document key decisions. Record data choices, model versions, and trade-offs for governance and audits. Companies have that. You are providing a service to this company. This company gets audited. You are getting audited also with that company because you are part of their supply chain. You're that third party vendor, or you're the main company and the third party vendor that's providing to you. Whichever way it goes, you still have to make sure that you have that all set and things don't fall apart because of the governance or the audits that you have going. In most cases, you're able to have the audits being conducted while it's business as usual. Leadership skills for AI initiatives. Strategic thinking, connect AI capabilities to business goals and long-term value creation. Cross-functional coordination. Align diverse teams with different languages, incentives, and timelines. You can have much better timelines in place with this, with having an automated process, having this powerful tool right at your fingertips. Risk awareness. Identify technical, ethical, and organizational risks before they escalate. Now we have our data-driven decisions. Use evidence and model performance data, not intuition alone, to guide your choices. Communication. Too many companies, there have been some times where consulting, and the whole problem was the company was not communicating. Translate complex AI concepts for executives, users, and regulators alike, making sure that everyone has that together in their scope. Data-driven decisions and risk in AI work. Reading the data correctly, model metrics like accuracy, precision, and recall only make sense when tied to the business problem. A 95% accurate model may still fail if the 5% it gets wrong carries serious consequences. Think about the health industry, for instance. Over relying on model outputs without human oversight creates accountability gaps. When things go wrong, no one owns the decision. Those of you that are listening to me now and have heard me in previous webinars understand that I have the love and the passion for AI, but you must have that oversight. There has to be that human interaction, that human in the loop. There's no if, ands, or anything about that. That is something that must be the standard, that must be the policy. Anticipating what can go wrong. Key risks include biased training data, regulatory non-compliance, poor change model. When something has been changed, it needs to be documented. And how does it affect the different departments or the different workers or your clients and customers? And model degradation over time. Each requires proactive planning, not just a reactive fix. The most resilient AI teams build a culture where surfacing problems early is rewarded. Hidden failures compound. Visible ones get solved. Let's make sure that we are in this and we're in this to win. Where does AI fit into a project you're working on right now? Think about a recent project in your organization. Where do you see AI playing a role now or in the near future? What leadership challenges might that introduce? Take 60 seconds before we move on. Think of your specific business. How does this enhance your business? Every one of you know that there's something that your business is missing that AI can help fulfill. What guidance is in place? How can you shorten the time? What additional feature could you add to your business? Pilots succeed in labs. Scaling fails in the real world. Number one, infrastructure gap. Clean pilot data rarely exists at production scale. Compute costs, data pipelines, and integration work multiply fast. So number two, pilot purgatory. Technically promising, but organizationally stuck. No clear owner, no mandate, no path to production. Number three, end user resistance. Without change management and user buy-in, even well-built AI systems get ignored or actively avoided. Number four, the business leadership gap. You know we have that. We've looked at it. I mean, even just watching them from movies for years, you see that. Scaling decisions left to technical teams stall. Business leaders must own the mandate and drive the adoption. Governance and operational considerations. Scaling AI responsibly requires governance structures that most organizations do not have by default. So you have to have clear ownership. Define who is accountable for model decisions and outcomes at scale before problems arise. That will definitely change because accountability makes people look at things a lot better and make sure. We as humans do not like that from our emotional vantage point and just performance. Model monitoring, establish protocols to detect drift, degradation, and expected behavior in production. Change management, build plans for teams whose workflows AI will change. People adoption is as critical as the technology. And of course, those of you that are listening to this webinar who are in that legal department, legal and compliance, coordinate across legal compliance and security teams before scaling, not after. User feedback loops, create mechanisms so end users can flag issues with AI outputs and close that quality loop. Responsible AI, the 5 principles for trustworthy deployment. We have to have the fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy, value delivery. All models must not produce bias on discriminatory outcomes, audit for the disparate impact across groups before deployment. You need to make sure you check that. The AI is a centralized system. Transparency. Stakeholders should understand how and why AI systems reach their conclusions. Explainability is not optional. It is not optional. Define human oversight and clear escalation paths for consequential AI outputs. Ownership must be explicit. Follow data protection regulations and minimize use of sensitive personal data throughout the AI pipeline. AI must produce measurable, defensible value, not just technical novelty. Validate impact against real business outcomes. A layered approach. So governance works best when it's built into delivery, not bolted on. Structure oversight by risk tier from development through monitoring. So we take a look at tier 1, model development. Risk classification, data quality checks, and audit trail setup. Accountability assigned before any model. Our tier 2, the deployment. The stakeholders sign off gates for high stakes AI, medical, financial, legal. Stricter oversight for high risk. Tier 3, monitoring and review. Regular revalidation cycles. Remember I told you about that continuous improvement, but making sure that you're revalidating. Model performance reviews and ongoing audit trails. We have our model lifecycle management, track the versions, changes, and retirement decisions end to end. Risk clarification, prioritize oversight based on impact. High stake use cases demand stricter controls. Stakeholder accountability, named owners at each governance layer. Governance without ownership fails. Embedded, not appended. Leaders frame governance as a value enabler, integrated into how teams ship AI. Governance effectiveness scales with risk tier. The higher the stakes, the more rigorous the oversight required at each layer. Does your organization have a clear process for approving, monitoring, and retiring AI models? Making sure you have the skill that you need for your organization. So the key takeaways in the next steps are, number one, AI initiatives are fundamentally different from traditional projects. They require new skills, new frameworks, and new governance structures to succeed. Number two, the AI initiative lifecycle provides a structured path. Ideation, experimentation, delivery, and impact give teams a repeatable model for moving AI from idea to value. Number three, effective AI leadership spans multiple disciplines. Strategic thinking, cross-functional coordination, risk awareness, and clear communication are all essential. Number four, scaling AI demands organizational readiness, not just technical capability. Culture, process, and people must be ready before scaling beyond the pilot. Responsible AI and governance are not optional. They are what separates sustainable long-term AI programs from short-lived experiments. Number six, your next steps. Map one AI initiative against the life cycle framework. Access your team's leadership readiness and identify governance gaps to address with your leadership team. I want to thank you for listening, for coming to this webinar. And as you can tell by my voice, I'm very passionate about this and making sure that throughout the world, that we are utilizing and that we're putting our best foot forward.
Thank you, Ronald. That was very informative. I know everyone is looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions into the questions panel. And now I'd like to give the presentation rights over to Robin, our vendor manager, to introduce our promotions and webinar-related courses.
I would like to thank you all for attending this webinar. In case you feel like revisiting this webinar for any future reference, please feel free to do so by clicking on the Access Recording button, and we would be more than happy to make the webinar recording available to you. Next, I would like to offer you a glimpse of Netcom Learning's capabilities and why we are the best that there is when it comes to learning services, training, talent development, and beyond. I take pride to announce that Netcom Learning is the winner of 2023 Microsoft US Learning Partner of the Year Award. Netcom Learning has been into the managed learning space for 2.5 decades now and have provided its services to 80% of Fortune 1000 companies. Having a strong reputation in B2G sector, Netcom Learning has served over 100 US military bases. We have trained over 1 million professionals to learn and grow in their respective fields across 36,000 enterprise clients. We also cherish a recommendation rate of 96% from our customers. All the numbers I've just mentioned have been a result of our specially curated trainings delivered by a portfolio of 3,000 plus certified trainers. Moving ahead, being an authorized PMI learning partner, I would like to give you an overview of Netcom Learning's upcoming schedule of courses from PMI that you can see right now on your screen. These courses are highly recommended to expand your horizon and knowledge of project management. Further, to add value to your learning curve, we encourage you to access our free on-demand trainings and blog posts related to project management. We would also highly recommend you go through Netcom Learning's website for more information on courses and certifications, our free virtual events, our blogs, and our running promotions. In case you're looking for a leadership point of view on the importance of lifelong learning and building a smarter workforce, we highly recommend that you go through the book Building an Innovative Learning Organization by Russell Sarder, CEO Netcom Learning. You can easily find this on Amazon. Finally, I sincerely hope that we could add value to your knowledge base in the time you choose to spend with us during this webinar on project management. For more information on such knowledgeable sessions and latest updates on IT and business training, please follow and give us a shout out on our LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter channels. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thanks so much for guiding us through all that information, Robin. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. If you haven't yet, it's not too late to pop your questions into the question panel. And as we start our Q&A sessions, we're also going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us to know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register. First question is, where should organizations begin when starting AI initiatives in a structured way?
Organizations should start with business problems, not technology. A structured approach usually looks like this: identify high value use cases, focus on problems where AI can improve efficiency, reduce costs, or enhance customer experience. Example areas: customer support automation, predictive maintenance, fraud detection, demand forecasting. Um, you you have to make sure that you access data readiness. All depends on quality data now. Evaluate. So you have to have the data availability, the data quality, data governance, and privacy policies. Build a cross-functional team, include domain experts, project managers, data science, IT, and business stakeholders. But with the proper training with netcom learning, this all works in together, and these certifications will provide that for you. Start with small pilot projects, run proof of concepts initiatives before large investments, measure outcomes and iterate. Establish AI governance. Now, define policies for ethics, risk management, and the responsible AI. Many organizations align frameworks with groups such as NIST or ISO. So I hope that answered your question. Next question.
Second question, for professionals already managing projects, what new skills are becoming important in the age of AI?
Well, project managers don't need to become AI engineers, but several AI era skills are increasingly important. So, AI literacy, that's one of the main things that I see around the world. Understanding how machine learning models work at a high level, knowing limitations such as bias, hallucinations, and data dependency. You have to have that data awareness, ability to work with data teams, understanding data pipelines, and the governance basis. Experimentation mindset. AI projects are iterative and uncertain, confident with rapid testing and learning cycles. The ethics and responsible AI, understanding fairness, bias, and regulatory considerations. Now, human AI collaboration design. So, planning your workflows where AI assists people rather than replacing them. Next question.
Third question we have in the queue is, what project management skills are becoming most important for AI initiatives?
Well, AI projects have different characteristics from traditional AI projects. The key skills: agile and adaptive planning. AI projects involve experimentation and evolving requirements. Stakeholder communication, obviously, translating complex AI concepts into business value for leadership. Data driven decision making. Evaluating models using metrics like accuracy, precision, recall, and return on investment. The risk management, managing risks such as model drift, the bias, the regulatory compliance, and the data privacy. So you have to have that cross-disciplinary coordination. AI projects require coordination between the engineers, data science, business teams, and the legal teams. Many project managers adapt frameworks from organizations like project management while incorporating AI lifecycle practices, which help them to have things work more fluid and cohesive as they are building their project and working through that. Next question.
Next question, how can professionals from non-technical backgrounds contribute effectively to AI-driven projects?
Non-technical professionals are extremely valuable in AI projects because they provide domain expertise. Remember that. Ways they contribute: domain expertise, defining real business problems, ensuring AI outputs are relevant to your industry, data labeling and validation. Many AI models require labeled data from subject matter experts. Process design, designing workflows where AI integrates with existing operations. Use experience and adoption. ensuring employees understand and trust the AI tools. You have to have that. And of course, having that ethical oversight, identifying potential bias or unintended consequences. Examples include professionals from marketing, healthcare, finance, operations. What about your HR team working closely with the data teams? All right. All right. And the
We-
next question.
And before we wrap it up for today, we have one last question. Are there any specific certifications or training programs that help professionals prepare for managing AI initiatives?
Yes, several certification and learning programs help professionals prepare. Project management plus AI. Having the AI cert with the project management that ties into there. The things I speak specifically from a person who's been able to utilize the AI and how that has changed my all my business structure. So I'm not speaking just for as an educator, but someone who utilizes this and together, making sure agile programs that support AI experimentation environments. So you have the Netcom learning, the AI certs that you get, and you learn so much. One of the things that I loved about receiving the certification is I have all these CompTIA certifications and cybersecurity, and I'm doing all this and being able to tie in and have that what I knew was came in like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been learning and known over the decades, and this builds into here and how this thing works, and they work together seamless to make the job go by faster. The technical awareness to be able to integrate the Google, the AI machine learning, the Azure, to how that works, and to have that cross-functional understanding. Because you have different departments or different businesses that will use different AIs, and you can integrate and have the expertise to be able to utilize all of them. AI courses are just amazing and widely recommended, especially for non-technical professionals. So don't have this in mind that just your technical team has to do this. No, this is for everyone in your organization. It is the model that we use now. This is the new industrial revolution that we have to take heed to, and that we must do this. That's why I speak at these webinars and making sure that we are moving forward and not left behind and not causing any type of issues with our business or with the business continuity that we need just across the world. I want to thank you for attending this webinar, and you have a wonderful day.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.